Yo, what's going on, guys? For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Joe.dellecarto. It's my first time ever doing any type of content, putting anything on YouTube, so bear with me. It's going to be the first video. There's not going to be a lot of edits or no edits, honestly, whatsoever, any cuts. I want this to be super raw footage, especially for my introduction video. But yeah, pretty much on this, I'm going to be going over my journey, literally how I went from 40K a year to 140K a year just in 365 days. So I'm kind of going to explain my journey. Wait till the end of this video if you guys want to really just learn more about how to get into the space I'm in and a little bit more in depth of what actually goes on in the space I'm in and what day-to-day looks like. I'll kind of explain the whole industry kind of towards the end. So stick with me to the end if you actually are kind of engaged and want to learn a little bit more about sales, which is what I do. But yeah, other than that, what this kind of content's going to be is just me kind of posting travel stuff, networking stuff, what day in the lives look like for someone working completely from home, remote from their computer or phone. And yeah, how I made $140,000 last year just literally working out of this home office that we're in right now. So kind of getting started with it. Just after graduating high school, I guess. So graduated high school, small town Indiana. From there, went to college, right? Went to college for about a semester. Didn't even finish out the semester. All my friends kind of went to college, did their thing. Me and a few of my other buddies, or a select few that actually didn't go. But yeah, ended up dropping out after semester. I kind of knew it wasn't for me. I was paying for it myself. Didn't have any scholarships or really family even helping me out with school. So just didn't want to come out of school $80,000 in debt. So I took the option of just dropping out. From there, at 18 years old, I kind of just worked with my dad at a car dealership for about a year. From there, I was working on getting my real estate license. I got my real estate license when I was about 19 years old. Did that for a few years, worked really, really hard in that. Was nothing crazy. I'll keep it real with you guys. Probably was making 30 to 40 grand a year with it. Wasn't doing anything really good. At the time, I was 19, 20, and partially 21 years old. I mean, what I struggled with was probably it's really hard to get someone buying a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home and trusting a 19-year-old kid with that transaction. So kind of sucked, but I made the best of it. It kind of really just opened my eyes in general to like, holy shit, like I honestly will never go back to working a 9 to 5 ever again in my entire life. I always knew that the 9 to 5 route really wasn't for me. Waking up, doing the same shit every single day, it just wasn't me whatsoever. I wasn't really willing to settle for that. So I got into real estate, right? Real estate wasn't a 9 to 5. Kind of work on your own terms, go around showing people houses, doing open houses, shit like that. It was super laid back. Didn't have office hours or anything like that. Kind of did my own thing. But yeah, it was a good time, and I don't regret doing it whatsoever because it gave me a lot of just skills in general for life, right? And a lot of knowledge and education, which is awesome, right? From there, while I was in real estate, I started looking into more stuff, right? At the time, like e-commerce and drop shipping was a super big thing, which I mean, it still is, right? So I ended up doing some research on that. Found out that it was something that, yeah, like I wanted to try out. Invested into a mentor at the time. Me and my cousin, we both invested about $2,000 into a mentor to try to make e-commerce and drop shipping work. We did it for about 2, 3, probably like 4 months. Didn't make any profits or anything the first couple months. Month 3 and 4, we actually took off a little bit with it. We actually started to see some results. Now, nothing crazy, like we didn't make crazy money with it, but we probably scaled a store to like 4 or 5K. I think we probably just broke even though out of everything we put into it with like investing into the program, ads, creatives, shit like that. So we kind of just gave up on it, honestly. So gave up on that, kind of went back to square one, right? Back to slinging houses and showing people cribs. And yeah, still though, I realized that I just wanted more in life, right? I mean, at the time I was 19 or probably like 20 years old, making maybe 30, 40 grand a year. I was living at home with my parents, so it was nothing horrible, right? I was making okay money, I guess, but it's nothing to support a family or actually live a good lifestyle with, right? So I started just seeing more, like follow people like Andrew Tate, stuff like that, and just more of those like motivational videos, and it really just changed my mindset in general. And starting to see like people my age, people a little bit older than me, people younger than me, like living this lifestyle that I've always dreamt of, right? So there's a kid I went to high school with. It's kind of how I got into what I'm in now, which is remote high ticket sales, which, like I said, I'll explain to you guys more what that is towards the end of this video. But I got into remote high ticket sales. Now, there's a kid from my high school. I never really had a conversation with him, never talked to him, nothing really. We both played basketball. So we kind of knew each other a little bit, followed each other on Instagram, but he was a few years older than me. So at the time, I saw him start posting a lot of stuff on Instagram, like this guy's traveling, this guy's in Colombia, this guy's in Spain, this guy's in wherever, right? Doing pretty lavish lifestyle stuff. And I wanted that. Like, that's the lifestyle I've always dreamt of having and being able to do those kind of things. He was living it right there in front of me. So I kind of just gathered up the courage one day to shoot him over a DM. I was like, hey man, like, I think we went to the same high school. I see you're obviously doing really well. Like, do you care if I ask you like kind of what you just do for a living in general? And he was super nice about it. He explained it all to me. He even jumped on a couple calls with me. And yeah, like, it was something I for sure was really interested in. We kind of went back and forth talking for a couple months. And then he told me that he was opening up a coaching program to where he was actually teaching and mentoring people on how to do remote high ticket sales. So I was pretty interested in that. Now, what honestly really pushed me to invest into myself and kind of just dive into something new was literally a bad vacation trip I went on. I don't regret it whatsoever. The vacation was a blast, but at the time I was 21 years old. I probably had $3,500 to my name. I was a fucking brokey, right? I mean, if you have $3,500 to your name, there's no reason why whatsoever you should have any right to be traveling, right? Especially where I went to Vegas, right? Horrible trip to go on as a brokey, at least. Still had a blast with some of my best friends from my hometown. Love those guys to death. But yeah, probably shouldn't have went on that trip. Broke as hell. But we did it anyways. It's my boy's birthday. You got to be there for the boys. But still, came back from that trip with about $560 to my name. As a 21-year-old kid, I had a $400 car payment, $200 insurance, $80 phone bill, groceries, gas, stuff like that. And I had no deals under contract for real estate. So that means you're probably not going to see a check for at least a couple months. So I knew I was probably fucked either way, and I had to figure something out. And I remember the day like it was yesterday. I had $560 to my name. I was standing in my real estate office when my soon-to-be mentor called me. He just called me right then and there. He was talking more about the coaching program that he opened up. He started to get a few students rolling in and coaching some people. It was still fresh and new. And I went for it. I went for it. I mean, in reality, it was $1,500. Obviously, I didn't have that. I had to break it up into a payment plan. I'll explain that. In reality, I looked at it as like, shit, man, you got nothing else to fucking lose. So I went for it. He told me it was $1,500. I was like, all right, like, yeah, like, I'm down, but I don't got $1,500. Like, I don't like, is there anything we could do with that? And he was like, well, we can do $750 and $750. And I was like, listen, dog, I don't even got $750. So we did 3 installments of $500. I gave him $500. 2 months after that, another $500. And I was left with $60 to my name. That day, standing in my real estate office, knowing bills were coming up in 3 weeks, no money in savings, nothing. I had $60 to my fucking name. Absolute brokey. So I knew for a fact I had to make this work. Like, there was no way that I could not make this work. Me and him did some training for about the next 3-4 days, went pretty hardcore at it, finished all of his education and course within that night, grinded through it multiple times, and literally within probably 5 or 6 days, this guy found me a job doing remote sales. And granted, like, I still had no clue, like, really, like, how this industry worked or what it was whatsoever. But he found me a job. I did an interview, and I'll tell you guys right now, I fucked that interview up so bad. It was a horrible interview. Honestly, the person that's watching this who interviewed me, she knows it was a horrible interview. But she pushed me to a second call with the CEO, right? And at the time, the CEO, he hopped on. He told me, he said, listen, man, I'm a firm believer on giving people a shot at this. So listen, we'll give you a shot at it. You got 2 weeks to show us that you can actually do this and be well, be good, and be trained, and actually improve, or we're just going to kick you to the curb, man. And then he told me the only thing is, though, you got to quit your job in real estate. You cannot do both. We need you full time. So he's like, you can take a week, think about it, whatever you need to do, and let me know. I got back to him literally that night. Told him, listen, bro, I'll go all in on this, putting real estate on the full back burner. I'm not going to touch that shit. Let's do it. Took a full leap into this. First month, made about $1,000. So wasn't feeling the greatest about that. I was calling about 300-400 people a day. Wasn't too fun. As an appointment setter, made about $1,000, but the people I worked with were all young, my age. Everyone was fucking hustling, grinding. It was awesome. Like, the culture and atmosphere for this was insane. Nothing I've ever seen before. There was literally, so there's an appointment setter and a closer. There's closers my age and some even younger than me, making $20,000-$25,000 a month, literally in the same company as me, same kind of people as me. It's like, I saw the fucking vision. Like, I knew it was possible. So I stuck with it, right? Second month, I probably made about $3,000, worked my ass off. So I started October, made about $1,000. November, I probably made about $3K. December, 3 days in, not even 90 days, or actually 90 days, completed the month of December. I made $13,000 in the month of September. My third month into it, I was managing all the setters on my team, worked my way up to that point, worked my way from an outbound dialer to a outbound dialing captain to a SMS setter to all the setting squad captain, right? I managed all the setters on my team. It was like 12, 13 people at the time. I was rolling. I thought I was on top of the world. I just made $13,000, most money I've ever made in a single month in my life, right? And it happened like that. So at this point, I knew that like the sky is the limit with something like this. So I kept grinding. That month, January, for my birthday, turned 22, went to Miami, met a bunch of people in my space, networked. It was amazing, phenomenal. And yeah, from there, I just kept working my way up, managing an entire team inside of the company, and doing a lot of cool stuff with them. I'm still with them now to this day, grinding it out, doing about 15 to 20K per month, depending on the month. But yeah, this is literally how in 2023, I made $40,000 to where in 2024, I made $140,000, almost 4x my income just from taking an insane bet and shot on myself. And yeah, I got out of my comfort zone. I made it happen. And so can you guys, though. That's the biggest thing I want you guys to realize is I'm just a small town kid from Indiana. That's all I am, right? No different than you, your neighbor, whoever it is. You just got to go and get it, right? And you guys got to know that it's possible as well, though. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm still with the same company, doing well. We're scaling this thing up. So I've been with them for a while. I love the guys I work with. But yeah, that's pretty much how I went from 40K to 140K in literally 365 days and changed my life completely. So we're going to have some more content coming out here soon. I literally leave in 3 days for a Miami trip. Going to be down there for about 4 days for an event my company's hosting. So going to have some really, really good content for you guys. Maybe a couple interviews while we're there as well with some high-level dudes. From there, literally 2 days after that, I come home for 2 days. Then I go straight to another trip, which we'll talk about that a little bit more probably in the next video. I'm going to be meeting up with about 7 or 8 other guys that are in the online space as well, all making over 10K a month directly from their computer or phone. But yeah, other than that, I know some of you guys waited till the end of this video. I'll explain to you guys really briefly what high ticket sales is. So it's a job and a career that you're working completely remote from home, from your computer. Now what you're doing is you are working under anyone that is a creator or influencer online and social media that has any type of course, coaching program, or mentorship that they sell, right? So most of the time, high ticket products are anywhere from $4,000 to like $10,000, right? And you work on their sales team selling their product with them. So it's a really, really fun job. It's great culture and great atmosphere to work in. Usually a younger, niched kind of companies that do info products. But yeah, Other than that, if you guys ever have any questions about how to get into the space or just anything whatsoever, any tips on sales, or just you want to chop it up, I'm going to drop my Instagram right here for you. And yeah, you guys are always welcome to hit me up with any questions you got. I love spilling the sauce for you guys just because people spilled the sauce for me, and that's how I got to where I am. So I'm always here to help any advice or tips you guys need. But yeah, the biggest thing is just know that you guys can do it as well. No one's different than I am. So yeah, this is going to kind of wind it down to an end here for our first video for YouTube. Yeah, we'll have some for sure a lot better content. I know it's just kind of me yapping right now, but it's pretty much it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys actually fuck with this kind of content. And yeah, we'll be having some more videos coming out here next week and week after that. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.